Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story of the little spider that wanted to be friends. Once upon a time, there was a little spider, and his name was Chuck.
Chuck. Who's Chuck?
The spider.
Chuck the spider?
Chuck the spider wanted friends. And so in the house that he lived, there were 2 little girls. And Chuck the spider wanted to be friends with the little girls. But Chuck the spider knew that all little girls are scared of spiders. They would see Chuck and they would go, "Ooh!" And they would be scared of Chuck. And Chuck would try to wave his little legs at them to say hi, but they couldn't hear him because he had a tiny little spider voice. And so all they ever saw was his little legs waving at them. And they were like, "Ah!" And they ran away because Chuck the spider was a spider. And so Chuck the spider didn't know what to do. He wanted to be friends with the little girls. And Chuck the spider made a decision. Because he saw flying around in the house were houseflies and mosquitoes. And Chuck the spider knew that the flies and mosquitoes kept bothering the little girls, and they would land on them. You ever had a fly that would just land on you, fly away, land on the same spot, fly away, land on the same spot, like you're a piece of potato salad? Yeah. And he knew the little girls didn't like that. And the mosquitoes, they would fly in, and they would sting them, and they would drink their blood. And the little girls were like, "Ah!" And they would smack the mosquitoes, but they couldn't hit them. And so Chuck the spider took it upon himself to save the little girls. And he began to build a web. And he would spin the little silk that he produced. And he would build this huge web. And then the flies and the mosquitoes came. And Chuck said, "Ah!" And the flies and the mosquitoes, they would hit the web, and the web would hold them because it was sticky. And the flies and the mosquitoes were like, "Ah!" The little flies were like, and the mosquitoes were like, and Chuck held them in his web. He's like, "Not today." And he didn't let them through to the little girls. And Chuck held the line. Literally, it was like a line of spider web. And he held it. And the flies and the mosquitoes didn't get through to the little girls. And so Chuck spent his whole life protecting the little girls and eating all the bugs that wanted to land on them and annoy them and be mean to them. And so Chuck the spider lived a lonely existence, fighting the good fight for those little girls. And that's the end of the story of the spider who just wanted to be friends.
Another story.
The end.
That was another story with John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.